My Lords, if today's approach to restoration and renewal of the Palace of Westminster had been taken in 1835, we would not be here in this majestic building. The decision then to establish a royal commission with a competition for designs produced 97 entries and Barry's visionary new palace. It might have been 3 times over budget. It might have taken 24 years to complete rather than 6, but it was done. 2 centuries later, as inheriting custodians of the Parliament that was created then and repaired after the war, it is surely nothing less than our duty to maintain and repair it. Of course, we must control costs, but we are talking about a capital sum spent over a period of years to renew a World Heritage Site for a further 200 years. In an overreaction to the scale of earlier proposals, all ambition truly to renew this royal palace seems to have gone. Instead, we have a deliberately more modest proposal to deal with the safety of the building first, perhaps last. Of course, we must heed the warnings. Our predecessors didn't, ignoring the public alarms sounded by leading architects of the day, Sir John Soane and Robert Adam among them, that the palace was a fire risk. The rest is history. Of course, we must act to protect this building and the thousands of people who work here. But essential repair, though it might be an argument from which the naysayers cannot so easily escape, should not be the limit of our ambition. This building is not fit for today's purposes, for modern meetings with technology, for greater public engagement, for the number of staff who now have to work here, for the disabled. If you go to Canberra, you can visit the poky old Parliament building, which is now a museum. You can still smell the tobacco in it. Up the hill, there is a purpose-built Parliament with the space and facilities which a modern legislature needs. I'm not suggesting, at least not today, that we move out of this place altogether. But we do need to do more than repair the building. We know today about the importance of public and shared space. A Parliament especially, where meetings and discussions are fundamental to our life and work, needs such space. We know that performance improves when people work in a good environment. Yet we cram staff into appalling conditions. My ministerial office, beneath the Commons chamber, was overrun with rodents, and there were alarming spores growing on the walls. A shocked, eminent doctor visited me and pronounced my office a health hazard. But it was also occupied by members of my staff because there was nowhere else for them to work. And this is true even of cabinet ministers' parliamentary offices. Such is the overcrowding. Piecemeal improvement, which is now what is to be institutionalized in these arrangements, has led to suboptimal development. The ugly visitor centre, which has been added onto the western end of the palace, is a great facility for school children, but it shamefully obscures the aspect of the palace from Victoria Gardens. The visitor centre at the United States Capitol isn't an eyesore. It's been built underground. And by the way, the environment around Capitol Hill is immaculately tidy, free of the litter which blows around Whitehall and chewing gum mashed into the floors of this palace, a detritus which is somehow a metaphor for the disregard we collectively have for this special place. Of course we should decant while the work is done. Disliking the prospect of leaving or fearing never returning because parliamentarians are approaching retirement age is neither an honourable nor an acceptable reason to stand in the way of a cheaper and necessary temporary measure. I agreed with everything that the noble Lord Blunkett said. Restoration and renewal can't just be about health and safety. It needs to support a renewal of our democracy. That requires ambition, not reactionary opposition. If we had vision, for instance, we might consider ideas such as those of the Commission for Smart Government, which I had the honour to chair, to build a new ministerial centre as part of a revamped parliamentary estate, and that ideas like this might improve the performance of government. I suppose I agree, albeit reluctantly, with what noble lords have said. The proposals put before us are the only way forward now. But, my lords, this is worse than a menu without prices. We've now been told that what might be on offer for the main course and pudding can't be seen at all. All we are left with is the starter, the essential safety-critical work, apparently the only thing we can agree upon. And I'm afraid it reflects badly on us. This isn't our building. It belongs to the nation. It is an international symbol of who we are, where we came from, and the parliamentary democracy that we stand for and are known for. That we should repair this building urgently now should be beyond debate. But I believe we should do more, lift our sights, and try to show at least a measure of the same leadership, ambition and foresight which a few good parliamentarians and a great architect showed 200 years ago. Yeah.